Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 16 of the Straight Line Motorsports Mazda MX5 Cup Championship here with post-race coverage of the race. And I'm your host and commentator for today's race, SD_RDZ, and we just finished up post-race coverage of the Mazda MX5 Cup Championship race from round 15. And so the action will continue on for the next race here, and of course positions will be flipped. Iapez and Lago will take the top 2 spots. Razor Bar and SLM Viper will take the top 5, and Durdu, TGIS, Doug Barrow, James Head, and Palmer will round out the top 10. Race 1 winner SLM Palmer will have to do some work from the back of the grid. James Head, who could only muster P2 last race, and with that finishing trend right there, that means Palmer will extend his championship lead slightly. And so we got 5 red lights on the finish line, and they will go out now. And it looked like Iapez had a slow start up front, and so we'll go up to the man up in front, first place. So I'm hoping some of these new guys will be able to get a chance to shine in this coming race. SD and Viper falling back majorly all the way down to P7 after starting in 5th place, and that's not the start that he would have liked to had. And he's already getting swallowed up, so that's not a good day for him so far. He's already dropped down to 8th, so that's something. So not a good day for him, unfortunately. And he's just more struggles to come with the top 2 of last race right behind him. Palmer's displaced James Head already. Oh, Viper once again going down to P10. So yeah, he's just having a very, very, very difficult day, of course. Iapez, unfortunately, Razor and Bar benefited from went up to P2 and P3. Well, and Bar going very, very wide. And Razor will take the lead of this race. And unfortunately for Viper, who is in the midst of that 3-car battle between Razor and Bar 27, is all the way down to P10. So not a good day for him in the box office, or in the office, I should say. And so Razor will lead the way. Iapez on TGIS on Iapez. And Iapez will go onto the inside to defend, but I think TGIS will cover that position off. Will Iapez be lit on the brakes? He's going to try and cover it, but not close enough to cover off that position, and TGIS will scoop up and get P2. Viper all of a sudden has got up into P7. And so that's good for him. James Head has popped up into 5th, but where is Palmer? He's still in 9th place, so he's not moved up the grid as he would have liked to. Durdu, Palmer, and Glock going out for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Or should I say 8th, 9th, and who's not last? Oh, Durdu going a bit wide into turn 1. Oh, did he hit Palmer on the intro to that corner? That's going to allow Glock to sneak up into 9th place. Durdu at the back of the grid now. Bar 27 and Viper still going at it once again for race number 2. And so these two not even giving each other an inch of room. So Razor continues to lead the way on the second lap. TGIS will follow suit. And is remaining very, very close to that leader of the race. Doug Barrow, James Head going at it. Iapez dropping down to 5th. So James Head is going to make short work of the guys up front. SD Viper, Palmer, and Bar going at it. Palmer might have been hit wide, as a matter of fact. He was. He decided to take the grass a little bit, and it's going to halt up his progress slightly in a way. However, there is a lot of time remaining on the clock. Just about 26.5 minutes left to go in for race number 2 of the weekend. And so this race is going to be a bit more fairly interesting, I should say. It was a close fought battle between most of those guys for race number 1 honors. Went to the way of Palmer, but unfortunately he's only stayed in the back half of the grid and he's not able to move up. He's still in P8. SD and Viper are going to try and cover off that inside line, but it quickly comes back to go to the inside. Bard's going to force one on the inside. Hey, very much will. iPad's going very, very wide. Oh, and it looks like Bar 27's got it all wrong. And he's very, very much pushing, as a matter of fact. And Palmer's right up behind these guys for 8th place for 6th through 8th. iPad's still doing a good job in 5th place, so he's able to gain some ground from this as a result. Doug Barrow and James Head still fighting out for P3, but Hairraiser and TGIS still leading his first laps once again of the weekend, so he's doing a good job. The Dutchman, unfortunately, has not had the best of luck of all season, and I think he's going to easily turn that around here, as a matter of fact, if he can hold on to this. Of course, Hairraiser's going to try and force one on the outside of turn number, I want to say 6, or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. Now they're through turn number 10 now. The left and then the right for turn number 11, and it's going to be the final final hairpin for turn number 12, the Hankook corner. Of course, I don't think any of these cars are on Hankooks. I'm pretty sure most of these cars are on Michelins. I did see a few cars on those Michelins. Yeah, and the Costa Mazdas are in fact on those Michelins. And so TGIS doing a good job at holding off that lead prime position. The field's a bit more spread out, of course, but he's doing the best that he can. James Head in 4th. And Doug Barrow doing a good job at holding off that 3rd place position, as he would like to take home a solid haul of points for consistency. Might not be race wins, but consistency is what matters here within this Mazda championship. Oh, is that an SLM Palmer going wide? Yes, it is. The championship leader going wide out of turn number 2, and he's going to lose a considerable amount of positions, including 9th place, or 8th place, I should say, to Dirtude. And so Dirtude, of course, amongst the drivers who are trying to get... Oh, is that Palmer who's... Oh, what a save by Palmer that was. And so Palmer back down in 9th, and I think it's going to go down to 10th. Yes, he has gone to 10th. And it's going to be catch-up from here on out, and this could spell disaster in so many ways for the championship leader. Oh, is that iPad has gone off? Oh, it is! He's had a massive spin. We'll go take a look at that real quickly. So we'll see what happened right here. Was ST Viper the blame on this one? Oh, and it might have been actually. Oh, and that's a big dive for STM Viper. Oh, and that is not good news there for the 51, who's making his series debut as well as iPez. So that might be a penalty incoming for the 51 of SDM Viper. That will be looked at, of course, but that is... Oh, iPez was actually doing very, very well in this race, and unfortunately it's just not got his way again. So that in itself might be a penalty coming for SDM Viper, as I had noted. So we will take a look at that again, or yeah, we'll take a look at it again after the race, see what race control wants to do about that. Hairraiser and TGIS still going at it again. 69 versus 78. 69 is going to go on the inside. What will 78 do going into turn number 1? He's going to actually be later on the brakes and somehow still keep that first place. Oh, and Hairraiser's just... Oh, he's keeping... That car is shaking a lot. He's trying to do the best that he can to try and stay within close range of getting that first place back. Doug Barrow and James Head just still waiting for a mistake from the top 2 to try and benefit from this. SD Viper still in 5th. Bar 27 have to withstand a lot of pressure from the German Dirtude on behind. And so Bar 27 doing a good job there. Dirtude going to try and lay down the pressure, of course. Go on board now with the German in the 14. What will Dirtude do? He's going to actually stay close behind. Oh, is that SD Viper who's gone a bit too deep? No, it's not. And I believe Dirtude. Oh, is that a bit? Oh, there might have been a contact between the two, the 14 and the 27. And all really Durdu can really do is just sit back and watch for this battle to kind of unravel in front of him. SD Viper leading this second track of cars. And of course, he will have a questionable penalty over his head, because that was a considerable dive bomb. James Head has got back up into P3 past Doug Barrow, and these two Costa Mazdas coming to, well, Doug Barrow having a good P3 finish last time out, but both of these Mazdas, both Costa Mazdas coming to life. So of course, what they can do, if they both can do well, that would be good for them, obviously. Oh, and TJS still hanging on to that first place. James Head going a bit too wide into turn number 1. Doug Barrow getting that position back, of course. And so James Head will have to do it once again, try and get past the number 13. SD Viper in the 51. Still hanging on to that 5th, but it will be questionable over his head after that incident with Iapez. Where is SLM Palmer? He's still in 8th place, so unfortunately for Palmer, he can't even do much in 8th place at the moment. That slipstream is so crucial in these cup races. And if he's not getting that slipstream, he's not able to get back up in front. Glock's still in 9th, and Iapez a ways away down in 10th after that incident, so unfortunately his day might be done unless he's able to do something. Oh, ST Viper feeling a little bit of pressure from bar 27 and from Durdu, but what can Durdu do? Oh, there's 3 wide midway through the corner, so that's something you don't want to do. Bar 27 absolutely all over the back of this 51. And Bar 27 is going to try and force them to the inside. Can Palmer actually benefit from this? There's 2x2 actually going to the final corner. Bar 27 and Durdu. Durdu's going to try and stay within close proximity of getting that inside. Oh, a bit of a lag spike as well, by the way. And Viper did not benefit from all of that. 5th to 8th in a set of 2 corners. He's showing the flicker of lights, so he definitely didn't like that one, obviously. Yeah, ST Viper very, very not happy, really not happy about that one, so. Bar 27 going up to 5th, Durdu in the 6th, Palmer into 7th, and well, Viper all the way down to 8th place, so he's got a bit of work to do. Oh, and there's a pile up going into turn number 2. And while we're at the front of while we're watching this, James Head has gotten back by the number 13. Airraiser and TJS still going at it for first place. We'll monitor this battle for the time being, as well as this one. What can James Head do on the inside? He's going to defend off that inside line. Oh, very, very sideways out of that corner, of course, as well. But this 4-car battle, I should stay still lighting on up, and Glock is on his way coming up. Bar 27 going extremely wide. Durdu's going to move up into 5th, no problem. Palmer is going to move up into 6th place as well. Bar all the way down to 7th now, and Viper still with an 8th, trying to wait for an incident to happen and for him to benefit from all of that as well. So at the moment, like I said, at the moment, Palmer back up into 5th place, so he's on a very, very good recovery drive as well. I thought I heard tire squealing, and I think it was James Head getting past Doug Barrow once again. 2x2 action going in again. Oh, and Palmer's been hit. Palmer has been hit by Bar 27, and SD Viper's going to benefit from that. And is there paint chips on the front of that 27? It doesn't look like there is, as a matter of fact. So Palmer's going to move up into 5th place. Durdu in 6th. Viper in 7th. Oh, he's got very, very sideways going into that first corner, which is something he definitely doesn't want to have. So let's see who are the real men here by using no traction control, of course. And what I mean that by going extremely wide as well. And I think everyone is not using traction control. So No traction control for any drivers here, as a matter of fact. It's just about keeping the cars as close as you can and trying to get the upper edge on the sword while you can. So this 4-car battle is still exploding on. Durdu going to try the dive on the inside, and it looks like Palmer's still going to somehow hold on to that first place because Durdu took a tighter line. And so SD Viper and Durdu going to go at it as well. We will go on board with the number 51. So Viper going to dive it up the inside. He will get past Durdu, and they're going to go side by side. Durdu's going to tuck in behind the 51. And Palmer going to be the one to try. And so what will the 3 guys behind him do? SD Viper's going to try and close up as much as he can. Oh, and that's a very silent Palmer. Oh, there's contact. Oh my goodness gracious me. And Palmer going well down the corner. I think SD Viper was coming in a bit too fast in that corner. And Palmer was just going too slow. And CJ and SD Viper had pretty much nowhere to go, as a matter of fact. And once again, Palmer, just his luck has gone awry this race, and Glock now has moved up into 8th place, so he's got some life going into this next battle, of course. And look at this now, completely stretched out battle right here now, as now going to be SC Viper and Durdu going for this battle, of course. Ooh. Very interesting right there. James Head was going very, very sideways, and I think he had to back out of that slide. And that's just giving Doug Barrow 3rd place. But we'll once again go up to this battle. We really haven't been covering it as much in the first half of this race, but we'll start to see it in the second half of this race. TGIS still doing a good job at holding on to that 1st place. He's got the fastest lap of the race with a 45.835. Harry's over the 46.240, so about 4/10 difference on pace for these two in terms of fastest laps. Gotta hate these headphones so much. So we'll go down to 5th place, which is SD Viper at the moment. He's still doing a good job at holding on to that 5th place at the moment over Durdu. I think he's starting to break away from this pack of cars that are right behind him at the moment. Oh, that's the Viper's at the moment. Oh my goodness me! And he's lost that valuable 5th place, and that would have been an absolutely great position for him. And so ST and Viper, and he's backed out of the race. Wow. And he is backed out of that one. He was doing so well, and he's backed out of it. Unbelievable me. We'll go on board now with the man in 2nd place. And he's absolutely putting on a pressuring show for the man in front, which is TGIS. And TGIS is doing a very good job of holding on to that 1st place. All those incidents that happened, Urdu just moved up into 5th place, Bard in 6th place, 7th place will be SLM, Palmer, Glock in 8th, and IPES up into 9th. That iPad's going off wide again. Yes, it is. So he's once again, he's not had the best day again. And this battle's still going on for first place. Harriers are still trying to apply the pressure to the man up in front. TGIS will go to the inside. No, Hairraiser will be the first one to go. And will Hairraiser try and dive one on the inside? He will actually not. So TGIS doing a good job. Doesn't have to worry about going onto the outside of the fen. And what we'll do now is we'll go on board with TGIS and we'll go on board now with Hairraiser. We'll show you a lap or two around of Lago Maggieore. And so that was 2 laps around the Autodrome Lago Maggieore East layout. And unfortunately, TGIS, or I should say Hair Razor's not been able to get by this leading 78 Mazda, and just been very, very difficult for him as of late. So nothing doing there as of yet. So we'll wait and see how this will unfold and unravel. James Head and Doug Barrow still going at it for P3 and 4th. Oh, it's been very, very close as a result of this. So Hair Razor and TGIS having a little bit of a breather now between the two. What will Hair Razor do to try and get back up and close in on that lead of this race? James Head and Doug Barrow, nothing doing there between the two as of yet. We'll wait and see if something happens between these two. But it's just completely nose to tail between these two. Who's going to be the one to go out to the outside first? Doug Barrow will be the one to go out on the outside. James Head was going to give up that position fairly easy as well. James Head going a fair bit wide, and it's going to allow Doug Barrow to close it up, but I think James Head will have that run to turn number 1. It's literally side by side, literally on the same pace between these two cars. So who's going to show out the brakes more quickly than the other? And so James Head doing a good job. Oh, he's very much skating that car around as much as he can. Bear Dude gonna do a good job. Bar 27 SLM Palmer. Palmer he's just struggling so massively within this race. He's not able to get back up on points, and this is gonna allow James Head, if he can get up into P3, a really, really good chance to catch back up into this championship hunt. James Head's banking on 2 podiums if he can get P3. And so Bar 27 will move back up into P6. Palmer now into P7. So it's literally this championship, this points standings now is literally going to gather on what will Bar 27 and Doug Barrow do to the other 2 cars of James Head and Palmer. So at the moment, James Head has gotten by Doug Barrow for P3. Palmer now is still in P7, just behind Bar 27. And Palmer's just doing anything he can to really try and get back by this 27 Mazda with just about, I want to say, 3.5 minutes to go of running. So there's not a lot of time on the clock. Palmer now, oh, it's just so aggressive on the draw here coming into this race weekend. He did win a race and captured his 5th win of the season in 5 rounds. In 5 races, in 15 rounds, he's captured 5 wins, so a 33% winning chance. So that's good for him. However, in 13 races, James Head did 5 as well. Alex Fageter, who's not won since Suzuka, is absent here today, and he will be fuming when he gets back in the cockpit of either his GTR or his Mazda MX5 Cup car. Dude now pretty much has nothing to worry about. He will take home that P5 finish unless he has a dramatic way to end this race, either spinning in circles or going off wide into a wall. So nothing doing there as of yet. He has the fastest sector 1 barely, so wondering if he's going to be on for a fastest lap of this race. We will find out pretty soon. Doug Barrow and James Head got a little bit of real estate between each other, as well as TGIS as well and Hair Razor. So things are starting to become spread out at the moment. I think the biggest battle we've got at the moment is a very laggy Bar 27 and SLM Polymer. So what can these two guys do to try and exchange some real estate offers on the ground? And I thought I heard a car going. No, it's just Dirt Dude using a lot of the tires. A lot of these cars squealing their tires going into turn number 12 as well, so... Dirt Dude improving on his fastest lap of his fastest lap of the race, but not the fastest lap of the race. And I think this will be the final lap of this race, so... all TGIS has to do is just hang on to this car, because he's definitely got a gap between himself and Hair Racer, and it's definitely been a long time coming for this young driver, the Dutchman, of course. And Hair Racer will probably be taking home a comfortable P2. James Head has had to take advantage of the situation when he needed it most, and he's definitely going to get back up within this championship fight now with his 3rd place position and Palmer's 7th place position. So a disastrous race for Palmer, who had a strong start to the weekend and unfortunately was just not able to come back in this one, and unfortunately it just did not go his way. And so rounding the final couple of corners for the final time, going to the hairpin, and he's got a lot of real estate between himself and 2nd place Hair Razor. He's not going to force an issue this time by. He's just looking to take it home nice and easy. It's been a long time coming for this young man, but for the first time this season, it will be TGIS on the top step of the podium, and he's going to be excited to tell all his friends and mates about this one. Hair Razor will come home 3rd. James Head will have a good day for himself in P3, and P4 will go to Doug Barrow. Dirt Dude, the German, finally breaks through into the top 5 of the weekend, and Palmer, right on the last lap, will get P6. So that position might come crucial and handy, as Bar 27 will come home for 7th place. Glock will come home for 8th, and iPaz will barely get the honors of being able to finish this lap and being able to finish on the lead lap, as a matter of fact. And so what a day it has been for TJIS 78, who captures his first win of the season. That makes it 5 different race winners this season. So he has become the 5th first-time winner this season, where Elliott Wagner was the first winner of the season, and it was James Head, and then Palmer at the first race at Fuji, and then it was Dirt Dude who won that 2nd race of the weekend at Fuji as well. And finally, at round number 16 of the weekend, or round 16 of the championship, round 2 of the weekend, it is TGIS 78 who breaks through for his first win of the season. Honorable mentions of note who have still yet to win their first race of the season: Hair Razor and Doug Barrow still have to win their first race of the season, but we hope you did enjoy that coverage of the Straight Line Motorsports Mazda MX5 Cup Championship as well, round number 16, and we hope you enjoyed this post-race coverage of the Straight Line Motorsports Mazda MX5 Cup Championship. I've been your host, SCM_RDZ, and we will see you guys next time for the GT3 Championship coming this weekend at what appears to be Le Mans. So we'll see you guys then.